What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to review episodes 1 and 2 of Better Call Saul Season 6. I watched them last night. I wanted to make these reviews for this show. It's maybe the only show I really even watch as it's kind of ongoing. Love the show to death, and so I thought, well, let's put it on. I've done the Halo show on this channel, so let's do Better Call Saul. So let me just jump right in. I mean, there's not too much to say because it was just so good. I think this season, much like Better Call Saul in general, right, it really has ramped up as the seasons have. Every season, I think, is a lot faster, at least a little bit faster, than the season before. And this one, I feel like, now I watched seasons 5. I watched actually a couple of them kind of all like back to back, so I don't remember how season 5 even started, but I just feel like this one it's going. You know what I mean? We started it. We're in the midst of the action, from real action from everybody. You know what I mean? And we're just in it. And I'm very worried. Like, I have anxiety almost when I'm watching this show because it is so, like, it's so good from top to bottom, right? Every cast member is just incredible. A lot of shows will break it up into different characters, right? In fact, funny enough, we've talked about this for Halo. A lot of shows, Better Call Saul. I think Walking Dead was one that really stood out to me that used to do it, or, started it, at least in my mind, like when I was watching TV, where you'd have different characters and they'd have different plot points going on, right? So that was like the first time I was kind of aware that you could do that and you could maybe make it work. Better Call Saul works so well with every individual, you know what I mean? So you have like the Jimmy, or I guess we can call him Saul, right? Saul and Kim, you have that plot, which almost took the back seat through the entirety of episodes 1 and 2, and yet every single time they were there, it was incredible. Like, Kim had her moment, kind of threatening, right, the tax evasion people towards the end. So she had her moment of just being a shining star, and by the way, continuing to get kind of more dirty, more into that kind of grim, setting or world that like Saul lives in, right? So that's very scary, and that doesn't bode well for her. But you had her do that shining moment. Everything with Nacho is just so scary. I love, because he's so good. He's an amazing actor, and Nacho's an amazing character. And him and Kim had a lot of catching up to do, because you already had Gus, you already had Saul, right? You already had people that you knew going into this show, and everybody else was kind of trying to play catch up, and they've all reached the same spot for me. They're all incredible, and I don't want to see any of them go. And Nacho, obviously, like, Kim is going to be so sad, just in terms of just how great of a character she has become and what she is now doing. She's outdoing Saul or Jimmy in terms of, again, like the sliminess of situations. She's better at it than him, and he realizes that, right? That's kind of what they were playing at with the ending of episode 2, which was phenomenal. Also, they're being tailed by somebody. That's terrifying. But so, like, Kim is going to be horrible, sad when we find out what eventually happens to her. Nacho's not the same, but it is the same in terms of like my anxiety, where it's like I don't want him to die, and he's obviously in just such a terrible spot. Just a lot of good moments with him, right? Just being on the run, doing some kind of detective work in the motel, like knowing that there was a guy, keeping an eye on him. All of that stuff. I mean, it was awesome. And again, I don't want anything bad to happen with him. You've got Gus and Mike, and we've seen this from Mike really throughout this series, and obviously we saw it a little bit in Breaking Bad, where it's like he's not a big fan of how Gus does things whatsoever. And I love, there's just something about him. He's become like a grandfather figure, right, because of his age, but like standing up for people, right? So he does what he needs to do, but he knows he's not in like the best moral line, but he's doing what he has to do to make a lot of money, to provide for his family until he's gone, and that's all he's trying to do. And he admitted that. We knew he was kind of doing that in Breaking Bad as well, right? That's his whole character point. And just to see him kind of stand up and be like, we're not doing this with Nacho. Like, we're not using the father. I'm not bringing the father to you. Like, I like maybe it's I like somebody kind of standing up to Gus, right? Like the lower person standing up to the main boss. But I think it's really good for Mike's character, because that's who Mike kind of is, and it's good to see that, where he just puts his foot down and says, I'm not doing that. So again, what I'm saying is, like, each, you had the Mike Gus thing, and that was fun. Everything those two do is so good. You obviously had the Nacho stuff. You had the Kim and Jimmy stuff, and it was just so good. And like I said, I feel like it's faster now. Everybody stole kind of their own moment. Like I said, I think Gus was kind of the most underlying thing, because he's always like that, just kind of his demeanor. Mike had some stand-up moments. Nacho, obviously when it's on Nacho in that arc, it's all him, so he has to stand out. Again, Kim had her moments. Jimmy or Saul, he had his moments talking to like the state attorneys. Like that was a really good scene. They kill it. Everybody kills it. Let me highlight when he went to the golf club, right? And he had that kind of like freak out on purpose. Awesome. I mean, I feel like they like to do that every couple episodes just to kind of say, this guy can act, this guy is incredible, and just let him go off, right? And a kind of monologue, how like a Jimmy McGill would do it. So it was insane. The beginning was obviously very depressing as well, right? Where I thought that was his house, but I wasn't sure. And then I was thinking, because it's been so long since I watched Breaking Bad. And then obviously when you see the sign, his sign in the pool, then you see like Saul Goodman and Associates or something like that, right? Kind of like a thing outside. So that was all depressing in terms of, tearing down, like, his fate eventually is met with that. Now they didn't show him, right, in the Cinnabon or whatever the place he works at is, right? So I want to see that, but you see that tear down, and it's just depressing because it's like, they're starting to get rolling. They're feeling really good. They got money. They're working consistently, right? So it's like he's going to come into a lot of money. He obviously is going to lose Kim in some way. And then obviously the necklace, pendant, whatever you call that thing, rolling out as soon as because I just watched the last couple episodes of season 5, literally like Friday night. So I actually forgot about that little, the flame tip, whatever the thing is. So I forgot, and then I remembered, and then as soon as that fell out of his, the drawers they're loading in, I was like, oh no, you just know what it is. At least if you watched it, a few days ago, maybe people forgot, but not a good really. I mean, that can go either way. I was reading somebody do a recap, and they had talked about, what could this mean? It really could mean both. They're not definitively, I think, teasing either, in terms of like, well, he keeps it because it's a memory of Kim, and Kim died, and so she's always kind of with us. So you could go down that, or she left him, or she had to go in hiding, you know what I mean, in the first place, and maybe he didn't have to, or for whatever reason she did, and he didn't, and he again, either way, he's keeping it to remember her. But like where she went is two different paths, and again, it's not clear which, and I don't think it's going to be clear probably until like the second to last, I would imagine, right? I don't think it's going to happen till like the second to last episode. Are we going to get a real clear indication of, is she going to die or not? I don't know. I'm terrified though. So incredible. I don't know, grade A television. I don't watch any TV really, besides a few things here and there. I guess like series on Netflix or whatever here and there, but this is just an incredible show, and no different for season 6. So can't wait till next week. We got episode 3, and we'll go from there. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys are subscribed. I'll do this every Tuesday morning. So if you do like this, every Tuesday morning or Tuesday in general will be a Better Call Saul review while these episodes are going, and then there's that break, and then it comes back for the final 6 episodes, I think, and then we're done. So you can catch me here, subscribe, bell icon turned on, all that good stuff, and hope to see you guys on tomorrow's video.